A little bit of Asian persuasion, kind of hoping that at least one of those teams will get through, because they've been so exciting so far. Either way, into the pistol round, starting things off. Quite a bit of utility and a Tech 9 armor onto Lovey.
Devil just spotting mid really quickly. He's going to fall back. Sixer's the one to pick up the kit, and it'd probably be a good idea to have him buy the utility. He hasn't been up to par in terms of individual performances, has had some moments. Clearly has a good attitude whenever we get the camera on him, but here's Kenny has to take first contact on Cat. Can he find a headshot? No, he's a little bit slow with the crosshair, and his teammates have to fall back now. Happy put in a really awkward spot, but Apex picking up the slack with 2 quick headshots. Really nice stuff by him.
Yeah, stepping up big in this pistol round already. The raid boss does continue. This time it's Advent getting that Tech 9. Doesn't actually have the armor behind it, and they're now going to rotate back towards the site. And actually, they do have it. They've managed to actually get Savage onto the site itself. Sixer is up close, going to throw the nade in. That's going to do 60 damage. But now comes that sort of retake before the bomb even goes down. They could wait a little bit of time as the rotation is coming back in from Happy, and he could catch the players out. There is a player waiting up close and personal, and it is going to be TB. He finds the frag, and this leaves only a couple remaining. One will fall. Sixer doing the damage, all down to a couple. Sixer with another, stepping up big already in this round. TB, last one left, and that's going to be it. Sixer with a triple kill, starting things off the stand-in for Envy.
It started to look good. We had the site being taken. Savage is their lurker, and he's been a very hard lurk, something that you don't see in new Counter-Strike, where a player is dedicated to the other side of the map most of the time. It seems to be his style, tried and true, but it hasn't worked out in the past on some rounds. We see him live a little bit too long. In this situation, he sped it up and got into the site just in time to escort the rest of his team in there. But Envy managed to even deny the plant in a situation where Cyberzen have the bomb site. So not something you see every day. Very nice setup and retake, I guess, by Envy.
Yeah, great start to the round. At the end, Sixer getting a triple kill, not something you expect from the stand. Didn't have the game that we kind of hoped, or even just that sort of support role. Not expected from him, though. They've said that in the interviews. Happy up close is going to get ended by the Tech 9, so already a frag on the board. This is quite a weak buy coming out from the Envy side. Only one rifle.
Yes, it is quite weak. Now we have Apex has already fallen down into spawn. This makes his position a whole lot weaker. His teammate on site has a lot of work to do. I mean, the most he could do in this situation is jump, and that's leaving a lot up to chance. I'm not sure how he's going to play it out. It seems like he's staying stalwart, sitting on the box, waiting for something to happen. But now, with the rest of the Cyberzen players, they're sticking around mid, haven't pushed too far up Cat themselves, anticipating maybe some counter nades. I think TB is also aware that there might be someone down there. Apex, when will he make his move? He jumps.
Yeah, and there is that sort of jump spray. Not really expected the MP9 to connect those shots, but he's going back for a little bit more. We'll get a tag, and Kenny just sort of tapping them back. They've got 40 seconds onto the clock. Apex will, in fact, find a kill, so clearly the jump works better than expected. Just CSGO things.
I really like to see that, you know, him taking his risk. It's a situation where you can kind of be okay. And Devil, whoa, with the spray, needed to get one of those frags, and suddenly the site is being taken up. Oh my gosh, they're actually going to get the bomb down now.
Was that shot straight through the door? That seems absolutely insane. Another one will come in from Lovey. It's all down to Kenny. He's got 15 HP. We'll pick up a scout, which, well, for someone such as Kenny S, it may not be the worst thing in the world, but really we're looking at the rest of the players. This is the B site. Retaking that is going to be nigh and impossible, unless, of course, they can get some sort of, well, basically someone has to peek him. That's the only way he's winning this.
Oh, Devil had a bit of a failure there in the B site with the UMP doing a lot of damage. As we can see, a couple of players from Cyberzen are quite low, but there's more than one failure that round, right? It is not all his fault. There was Happy who did a lot of damage but couldn't get a kill, and all that stuff turns into an insurmountable round. I mean, if Kenny S knew how low a couple of these players were, he might have just decided to run in with maybe just his 5-7 and try to go full Rambo, but that's not even an option now.
Well, that's something at least. That's a nice way to end the round. He actually removes the M4 from the map. I don't think they're going to be getting that one back either. So all they actually gain from that is a UMP. So in terms of that last kill, it was a little bit more expensive for the T side than originally thought. They will have to rebuy. In terms of the CTs, well, it looks like they're going for something.
Yeah, they're going to try to counterbuy here. This is the kind of what happens when you lose a round like that. You think, well, okay, that we shouldn't have lost that round, number one. Number two, we got reset. Number three, we spent all our money. So we're not in a good place economically, and we've got to try to scrape together a buy to win it back.
And T-side aggressively taking over long. Zoking, or Zoking, as I've been told to say it now, will go for the early pick. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to nail the accent quite as well as, obviously, the Asian master, Henry G. But Kenny just going with the shots, trying to do what he can to just slow any sort of aggression. They're still just chilling around long, and the aggression from Happy now coming in from behind, trying to just sandwich them in. But with 4 players, how much can he really do with this pistol? Waiting close, and he gets one at least. That's something. It's only a trade.
It's not bad at all. He's caught them going back to mid now as well, so they've got to decide whether or not they want to continue with this strategy. And Lovey over at long has gotten a kill for himself as well. This is kind of interesting. This is something that you want to... oh, man, going tunnels might be a little bit risky, and it seems like they're splitting up quite a bit, which is also another mistake potentially waiting to happen. But back in spawn, they're all kind of set up, playing it safe, and trying to feed into this envious hope that it's going to be a B take, and then actually going to fall back to long. It ends up being a really good, sound strategy. kennyS going to spot one, smoking out Suicide. And this is going to actually elude that it's going to be an A hit as opposed to a B hit. But here we are, Cyberzen walking up long, and I don't know if they're going to smoke the cross. It looks like they're going to throw it out now. Damage has been dealt, though. That smoke didn't pop yet. And we have a player dying at top mid. That's a little bit of a misstep. The smoke isn't great either. And there it is, another hit from kennyS. He's also looking for another. Gets it on Lovey, down to half HP.
Yeah, that miss smoke has played massive dividends for Envy. Now they're going to go for that surrounding factor. Sixer and Devil coming in from behind. That rifle, but Kenny's just doing everything. I thought it was actually him who hits the shot there. Devil's the one to take that away.
Okay, so that's quite unfortunate. So after Happy catches them falling back to long, this is what went wrong. They had 2-3 people go over towards B, and kind of they've done these rotates before. They were doing it on train where they were just deciding to run it back to the other side of the map as kind of like a YOLO rotation and it not paying off at all. Well, this time they almost did something right. They went back. It's just that they made presence at B tunnels, and then I think it was clear to Envy that it wasn't going to be that site anymore, especially smoking mid almost for no reason, and then walking up long. When you really want to mask walking up long by either pretending it's going to be B with late presence or actually committing to the site, and instead they kind of went 1 foot in the door, 1 foot out.
Yeah, no, the big thing there was that player crossing back. That was what really gave away the pushback, and really all 3 players all the way down, the miss smoke as well. But they will force back into this one. Advent with an AK in hand, and they've gone for some Tech 9s, a Deagle as well. So definitely not giving this round up. The only problem is we now have 4 rifles on the board rather than the 1 that we saw previously. Devil, same position again. Will he do any better? It's not looking like it. It's actually Sixer to bail him out. They have switched up, but he's going to go down as well. Now it's all down to Devil. Finds one, gets a second. This is much better. Using the 5-7. He's getting support now, and he's done his job.
I had flashbacks to that previous round using the exact same angle. They were walking in tunnels with weak guns. It seemed like a situation where he was going to fail, but ended up getting the kill and then turning into 2 more with the 5-7. Very nice shooting from him. Envy are up to 3 rounds, and it's solid. They've got their feet back on the ground, and after that slight scare at the beginning of the 2nd round where Cyberzen managed to eco them, they have found foundation and now have full guns and going up against a full save for once.
Yeah, and the thing is that 1 round, in a way, gives them a slight boost in terms of economy because they get a free AK. Yes, they lost some, but realistically, they got a lot of it back when they won the next round. So it does work out quite nicely for Envy. I wouldn't say going for that. What has just happened?
Oh my God, the ace. Okay, we'll watch that back. I saw it on my monitor. That was Happy versus everybody running up Cat and just mowing them down in a matter of like 2 seconds.
I think we may have like a new contender for fastest ace. That was ridiculous. Just sprayed down 4 players and hits the final with the headshot. I'm hoping we will see a replay of that in a few moments, but wow, that's a way to end a sort of eco round. Just spray them all down in 1 clip, and of the silenced M4 as well, which doesn't even have as many bullets. So
yeah, no problem.
Very impressive aggression this time. Apex will punish onto Zoking, and not going to have any sort of love this round. Looking for the rest of the players, just building up outside and a little bit of presence towards tunnels.
Now we'll see how deep the playbook of Cyberzen is. They have gotten the chance to perform on a rifle round, though. I started it out by taking a risk at long, losing their man there, and now we're fall back. They have 1 person in lower who's just keeping them honest. That's Savage. He is definitely their hard lurker most of the time. I worry for him when this starts to become obvious, if it ever does. But as long as he's making presence and having impact, it's not going to be that much of a problem. I'm not sure if the right side, like if the CT smoke actually came out to obscure the vision on Happy, who's sitting there waiting, but if it didn't, it might be kind of a half-assed mid to B presence.
Yeah, they seem like they've just thrown out some nades that haven't actually done too much. Could just be to bait in some rotations, but it really hasn't moved too many players. They now have more presence towards mid than previous, and Happy, he may be looking the other direction, but still ready and waiting for this spot to come out from Devil, who is just waiting. He has actually been smoked off in this scenario. I'm not sure if that's his smoke or another, and now they are going to be pushing in his direction. There's nothing stopping Happy, so he's just going to peek out. 6 are holding out, but it will be Advent to find another. It's still a 3 versus 2. The bomb should be able to go down, but this is still definitely a retakeable situation for Envy.
Yeah, this is also a great opportunity to hold. I mean, it's 3v2, so you would think, you know, maybe they go 1 for 1 on these situations. Happy made it into the site, though. Savage comes out with his first frag. One's going to be in the door. That's KennyS holding the angle, finds the frag, and now it's Advent at the back of the site in a 1v2. An op and an AK, one of the players goes down, and the other one coming through the smoke. That's Apex, gets shot to the floor. Bullet between the eyes, and the 1v2 comes out. Wow, they actually put that round together, 2v3 on the afterplant. And they even had a well-fortified site. As you mentioned, they had 2 players in B and 1 watching mid B. And I was going to say one of the main tells that I've already pulled from Cyberzen is that they do quite a few double fakes. They like to try to bait out as many resources in the same place that they're going to go to later. And I think that's what caused the rotation from Envy. It seems like they've caught on to that quite quickly. But man, a quite unfortunate round for EnvyUS, and just a nice play, I guess, in that afterplant from Cyberzen. Ironically, it was Happy Smoke that obscured Apex's vision as it came out of window.
That was the big problem, that smoke, which just allowed the individual jewels to come in for Cyberzen. Either way, we are now having an AWP back onto both sides, so this is a great opportunity actually for Envy to just break that economy straight back down and send the T's packing. They've already done it once and really hurt them in a sense, and we saw what happened in the anti-eco round, so definitely a nice easy one for Envy. Definitely going to be looking forward to their T side later on, but Savage on the AWP as well. Say he plays that sort of lurk or a lurk AWP. Not the most common, but it can work out. Kenny not quite going to connect with that shot. Goes for the early aggression, is able to fall back, so not too much of a problem, and can actually re-rotate his position, goes back towards the site, and now holds a different angle.
It's a bit of a tattered vibe by Cyberzen, who are now focusing their attention over towards B. A lot of presence being made here. I'm not a huge fan of the I'm not a huge fan of the 5-man, but it's actually a 4-1. We've got 1 out mid right now, and I don't know if he's going to take a fight. TB is trying to call him out, though. Zone King actually gets his frag and pulls a player out of B. That's going to leave everybody out of the site. I wonder why Devil actually rotated out. I don't know, but him getting the kill might make the difference. A 4v4 retake. This is really favoring the terrorists right now. And they had appropriate setup once again, but Cyberzen, for some reason, are able to get into B and put the bomb down.
Yeah, and that was the big thing. Leaving Sixer alone really relied on him doing quite a bit, and the stand-in was not able to connect anything. Gets taken down straight away on the entry, and now we sort of look for this retake. They are surrounding slowly into positions. Kenny waits and finds the first, so that's a nice start back into the site, but we're looking for the remainder. Kenny with another. That's a crazy shot, but trade's coming either way. It's Savage doing the work. It's coming down to another battle, and Savage with the flick. What a nice shot from him, and well, the AWP's really stepping up in that round.
God damn, that's rough. Holy smoke, Savage. That last shot, that just dropped the hammer on him. Damn, knocked him into the ground. That was crazy. And yeah, I mean, KennyS made to look that competitive. It was a 4v4 retake, in my opinion, that heavily favors the terrorists, especially on this side of the map, or in B on dust2. But it came close, man. That was really, really a really good effort.
That second shot from Kenny as well. Can't take anything away, straight through the box. So nice work there, but unfortunately that has actually reset them. So both economies were on a sort of tilt position there. And eventually this time it has put Envy down to that eco. A couple of deagles in play, so not skimping all the way down, just trying their best to do something with what they have. But yeah, a really important round and a couple of close ones for Cyberzen.
I gotta say, Devil has been in a kind of, I'm not sure if there was a call that Happy wanted him to help him at mid, which is a possibility. If that was the case, then it's not his fault, but maybe getting a little bit careless. He's been the first to die on these mid-B takes both times.
In terms of this round, it's a money-making effort here. Kenny will manage to get one, but other than that, this leaves Sixer alone there. He's actually going to find another in the meantime and pick up an AWP. Now, in terms of the bomb plant, they could delay this a little bit because you kind of want to get this out of his hands. Don't just want to give a free AWP over to Kenny. He's already had an impact in the last couple of rounds, so saving this weapon is going to be very valuable. And you have to remember, Cyberzen, their money's not great. They haven't like done any crazy rounds. It's sort of been 1v2s. The last was sort of okay in terms of how it went, but it wasn't enough that you're sort of thinking, oh yeah, they're making bucket loads of money.
Yeah, they haven't solidified their economy yet, and this might be a really big, important way to do it. They're actually delaying this peak. Wow, he waits just, that was nice. He waited just, he called him out on that move. Sixer assumed he was going to have a teammate come up behind him and didn't risk getting off in that situation, so they keep all three alive, take the out down from Envy, and now have another buy on their hands. The thing is that in the rounds that they've won, I feel like they're not going to get away with that every time, and it's been versus mid-B setups, and Envy have been appropriately set up, having 3 people to take care of the site, so... Again, these are not, in my opinion, sustainable ways to win the round. Like in that Navi versus Astralis match, we saw Navi win rounds where they were running right into Astralis' setups, and it's like, okay, they do that, but you can't do that every time. So credit to Astralis for having the appropriate setup, because most of the time, as long as everybody is relatively on point, you're going to be able to secure those rounds. And I always credit the team that's positioned properly as opposed to the one that wins most of the aim duels.
Yeah, in terms of read, they've been very good.
Yeah.
That has been. It's just been a couple of mistakes. Like the last second, we saw that rotation away, and like a couple of players dying, like not being able to quite get the aim on point for a round. But if they do, then everything could change.
Definitely. That was the 2-1-2 once again. Cyberzen are posted up on Cat. This is a full buy versus full buy. Kenny S has actually opted not to have armor. I mean, it's probably not a choice by him. And there's that first pick. Sedekis was talking about how good he was in Pro League. This is going to be one of the opportunities for him to shine. Their backs are definitely against the wall. And there's another nice headshot. Wow, what a pick. Right into his angle and beat him in speed.
Yeah, no, that's a ballsy peak to take. Kenny doing all of the work now. They have got no response to this man at the moment, and they're just going to keep pushing into this very scope.
Oh, this is
looking
an ace, dude. Waiting
for
to happen.
his 4th. There we go. Going to be stolen away from Happy, the ace, but just precision.
Yeah, 100% hit rate that round, not missing a single bullet, and like critical frags as well, stopping the cap pressure all by himself. And once again in a 2-1-2, which is scary for Cyberzen because now they pick the right site, but because Kenny S is fortifying this with the op, and yeah, that second shot was serious, man. He was like, you know, you don't want it to peek into another opper's angle unless you know you have that lined up perfectly and you're very confident that they're there.
But yeah, also it's the basically calling the bluff of your opponent, saying, do you know what? I'm going to take you down. And exactly what he did. Didn't give Savage a single opportunity. We now see a force buy coming out from the Cyberzen side, trying to make something work in this scenario. 3 AKs, a couple of pistols, and it's looking like that short hit is about to be attempted again. So really want to challenge this AWP if Kenny has switched up his position to Car, and it looks like support is already rotating in from Happy. So here we go. Early aggression, not going to work out. It will be Kenny going down this time. So Lovey doing his job as the entry fragger. You have to remember, Happy very low in this scenario. Apex up close and personal. Will find one already. Looking for a second, but there's Savage to take his head clean off. A little bit more to be done, though, by the CT side. Again, getting another player to ramp. It's Devil. He may have heard the drop down there, but it's actually going to be Happy again from CT, leaving just Lovey. He's got 1 versus 3. Goes for the first, finds it, but there's the quick trade. Sixer does the work, and a nice retake coming out from Envy. Yeah,
they make it happen. No credits to Cyberzen. They got Kenny full flashed at Car, and it doesn't matter how good you are as an operator. If you're blind, you are just as good as any man. And so they did a great job of neutralizing him, trying that cat take one more time. I think they identified that EnvyUS are liking this 2-1-2 setup because they're getting away with only having 2 people at A. And they did, again, neutralize Kenny S and were able to cross-site, put the bomb down. That is the goal for them on that round. Ultimately, Envy, however, on the retake, excuse me, sorry, just a bit sick, played it really slow and carefully, and got each frag and traded each other one.
Yeah, LAN flu launders. That's the name at the moment. It is coming around at the moment, but hopefully you'll last. You'll survive this game at least. We want to see who gets through to the quarterfinals.
I'm totally excited to be casting this match. This is like such a sick game.
Yeah, already back to pistols once more for VG. It has been a bit of a problem so far, where their economy hasn't settled. In the last round, they didn't have a full buy and managed to get a bomb plant at least, so they get a little bit of an upgrade in this round, and the loss bonus will also start to build up alongside that. In terms of the positioning of the CT side, still going for the very same setup you mentioned before, the 2-1-2. And in terms of where they seem to be going, looking like they're about to give another challenge to the Sixer and Devil duo, and Devil's actually rotating away once again.
Yeah, he's going to help out mid. I mean, this cost him in that previous round, and now they're going to spot 2 players at mid fighting. This is going to lead them into B side again, putting a lot of pressure on Sixer to get kills. He's actually going to fall out of the site. This is kind of rough, though. Oh, they do get in. Devil, once again, rotating, gets fragged, and now Sixer, a lot of pressure. He's done a good job staying alive, min-maxing those duels, but whoa, Zone King getting 2 headshots, and that's it. They have the site one more time. They're going to be able to plant, most likely. It's actually Kenny S, though, is going to cut this off. They don't have the bomb right now. The smoke goes in, the immediate retake. Stop the pressure before it hurts, and here is Kenny S over the corner of the smoke. Can't find the kill. Savage, so careful with that angle.
Yeah, still haven't retrieved the bomb. This leaves it down to just Apex to try and retake this. Does find the first, and Savage very low on HP.
So
could pick up an AWP, though. That's the big thing. That's on the floor, ready and waiting. Apex looking to go for the peak, and he challenges and takes both frags.
wow, I find that crazy that he would just go for that kill when there was only 7 seconds left. He could have forced the plant. Actually, that was really risky. Like, there was no way that he would be able to fake plant once, or yeah, he had him almost checkmate in that situation, but he decided to end the round early. I think maybe he was worried that it was going to be an A-take because they hadn't actually seen the bomb for a certain amount of time, so I can understand why he might have wanted to figure out that situation early. But man, that 2-1-2 setup, excuse me, failing kind of early again.
Yeah,
both players
pistols.
going down. Yeah, like I think Devil's got to be committed to inside B, because if they split, then he can defend either. Like, the standard way to do it is you either smoke off window or molly window, molly door, and then focus on one choke point, and then your other teammate just focuses on tunnel, and then you just spray them down as you come in. But if you're both stuck outside the site, then you're both in rotator spots. The easiest way to kill somebody.
Yeah, they're going back to this A-take once again. Happy with the aggression, and looks like Apex, he wants a little bit more. Happy still doing the work with Apex combining, and they're just cleaning up this short push. I don't think going towards A is working at all for VG at the moment, but there's Savage to bring 2 back. Contention is all but key. They're still doing a lot of damage. You have to remember, only 1 player survived in the last round, and, well, what's the decision here? It doesn't have the bomb, 56 HP.
Yeah, this is kind of weird because I don't think they have line of sight on the bomb, so I'm pretty sure Savage could have gone and picked that up even if he wanted to go long again. But that being said, he can't be 100% certain if that was the case. Took a couple of steps here along. I'm not sure if they were heard. It's kind of hard to hear on land. Maybe somebody was talking, and so you can't necessarily assume that this is known information where exactly he is. And he's only got 27 seconds right now, so he's making kind of a weird play in the sense that he can't actually kill people and get the bomb.
There's a player on site as well.
Yeah, I mean, he should just be thinking about saving and not making noise at the situation. So he's a really, really awkward spot at the moment and has made noise. So
there's a step Kenny should know exactly where he is now.
Honestly, they just want to bleed him out for time. Like 5 left. 3 seconds. This is still really rough.
But that's an AWP. That's actually slightly worth it now because he has upgraded. He saved an AWP. They'll have a max loss bonus, but that will mean that that's actually something that they can save in terms of something they may not have been able to afford. Looking at the rest of the money, they definitely wouldn't have been able to afford that.
Yeah, I'm almost certain that Happy had no idea, like didn't hear that last drop off, and because otherwise he would have been fully aware that ramp was the only way that he could get up. So I think he's quite fortunate, but kind of an odd thing to do in that situation. Already up to 13 kills, mind you. So who am I to criticize?
Yeah, not a bad start for the Envy side. I do have to say that when we saw them during the qualification, or granted you weren't there for that bit, but they were very, very good at the CT side, obviously with MBK. It was the T side that in some of the games they did begin to struggle with a little bit, and that was actually where MBK really stood up big and helped drag the team through. So that's where I'm getting a little bit worried for them at this point. The CT setups, although they seem to have some problems with them, like Devil and Sixer combining doesn't seem to work too well at this stage. Sixer trying his best, finding a few frags along the way, but it seems to be that sort of rotation player from mid. But the A-site hold has been brilliant. Yeah,
the A-site is fortified completely, and the scary part is they're actually getting away with retaking B even when it doesn't work out. Right? Yeah. So yeah, they're getting away with murder in that case for sure.
But you normally almost want to do it the other way around, like fortify B. Okay, we'll retake A. That's the common way to do it.
That's what they're set up to do, but Kenny S is doing all everyone's job and more, so why not?
Yeah, and well, on the other side, we've spoken about their T side and said, okay, they struggled. The other thing to mention, though, is they definitely didn't have Apex in the form he was in yesterday.
Yeah.
And if he is in the form he's in
Apex,
yesterday,
isn't it?
yeah, if he's like that yesterday, yeah, granted, I think him and Natu took a sort of shot at him, or just saying he's not very consistent. He comes out with a crazy performance and goes, hey, try and find me an entry fragger that is consistent. And he does have a point. It's very, very difficult to do.
Oh, those are words that he said.
Yeah, it was like entry fragging consistency.
He has by far the hardest, the most difficult job in the world is to be the best aimer every single day, and also throw yourself in first, pick 3 out of 10 angles, and then make sure you hit your shot. That's crazy. So he's destined to die most of the time, and so yeah, his job is incredibly difficult. And the only reason that it's fine to call him inconsistent is because when his highs are so high, it's like, how could you ever expect him to be that way every single day? It's like you want it from him, but yeah, is kind of a mixed bag whether or not he's going to be Apex best entry fragger in the world, or kind of like the man who gets unlucky or the man who fails, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, and well, while we have this little bit of a side note, of course, it is always important to mention that if you have missed anything from this tournament, you can go and look on the Score Esports app. It has everything from StarLadder. It has news about other events. I'm sure there's some crazy news coming out at the moment in terms of NACS and organizational stuff. All of that good stuff is there, so I feel like it's available on iOS and Android, so
And
make sure you
Android.
go and download that, guys. And of course, if you're up for betting, EGB is your place to go.
Definitely, yeah. Definitely a really cool app. I mean, it is the best one out there in terms of esports. There is nothing that has the stats and stuff like that as deep as they are and as up to date and looking really nice. So highly recommend. It's a free download, so why not check it out?
Yeah, and that is us. Sellout done.
No, it's free.
Just,
I mean,
it is a good app, though.
Yeah,
Not
it is,
even
yeah.
just having like a gum to my head or anything.
Do you
Like,
have
they could
it?
even put the camera on it. I think I have it on my iPad, but my phone memory sucks.
oh, okay.
So I have to clear as much space as possible in order
Could've
for me
lied,
not
whatever.
to die. No, I'm going to be honest. I do have it on one platform,
Yeah.
don't have it on another. But
Just kidding, just kidding.
then again, I don't have any other esports apps either. So
The one app he has.
the one esports app I have. This is the only one. But enough talking about apps. We're done with that. Back to the game. Money-wise, do they buy at this stage? Because they did get an AWP.
Definitely not. They have. It's just that you probably can't see the money from here, but Savage is only at 1,400, and then everyone else at 3K. So.
But he did.
Oh.
They've got an AWP, so like that's why he's got armor. That's why he's at 1,400. Isn't
Because
it?
they saved the op, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're probably just going to want to. I don't know. They could just take the op, and then they just don't have enough for like even one more rifle to support it. So. Yeah, instead, Zone King is just going to buy half armor. Savage is going to hang on to this op and try to make something happen. The cool thing is, on T side, is you can go look for an entry, and then if you don't get it, somebody else can pick up your op, and you got to try again. And rinse and repeat 5 times over until everyone's dead, or all the CTs are dead.
Yeah, well, already, Six is going to get tagged through the door, making that B side just a little bit weaker. We do see a bit of a switch up in position from Happy now, playing much closer, and teams have had problems. He spotted the scope.
Oh my god.
That is the scope spotted. Now going to go aggressive. He sprays down 2, looking for more, but he's going to get taken down by the pistol. They will retrieve that AWP and an M4. So although it seems like quite a horrible trade, and now it's getting a little bit worse, it wasn't too bad. Whoa,
Wow.
Apex with 3 headshots. Clearly still feeling the aim at the moment.
I'm not even
Ends
sure
the
that was
round.
just a spray, was it? Might have been a couple of one-taps there. Absolutely ridiculous. Nice clean headshots from Apex. And Envy really making a case for themselves here. I thought that Cyberzen would have a great time on this map. I figure EnvyUS are probably not entirely motivated to try and win. I think, honestly, them being here is proof enough that they want to win, but for them to be in peak form or to not be able to excuse themselves when they lose a round or just not do very well, I think that would play much bigger of a factor. But at the end of the day, Envy are still showing that they're tier 1 competition, and that one sub won't necessarily change that.
Yeah, definitely. Well, some of their players have already been stepping up, and it was mentioned on the desk about we've already had Apex, we've had Happy. If Kenny goes off as well, there's nothing that some of the best teams can do. We don't know too much about VG. We've seen bits of them. We've seen them at this tournament and shown what they can do against Virtus Pro, which is, even if Virtus Pro are in bad form, that's still something impressive to see. Now, they've got to do it a little bit more, and they are down at the moment. They've got the buyback on the board. Savage with the AWP once again. He's also hit the tag once more, so 6 are down to 51 HP.
Mid control looks like it's being postured to be taken. I'm not sure if Happy will have any competition right now. Oh, they run out with no smoke, or no flash, excuse me, and just a dry run out. Double smoking mid B, a little bit of a lack of communication there. Double running out window. I really don't like that decision. I feel like, I don't know. I'm not sure I like that decision just because I think the problem for them was that he didn't have that way of blocking off any other choke point. It's just that he's died. I died versus maybe one more time. And whoa. Oh my god. Okay. Is Apex going to do this? Is he going to do this?
Oh,
dude.
He is going to do
my
it.
God.
Oh,
the left clicks, too. The left clicks, too.
Oh, there
Not
we
the
go.
left clicks, Apex.
That was just mean.
How could you do that?
Now missing the
Oh my
AWP
gosh.
shot there. Quite a lot of damage being done at the moment, and Apex going to jump across Kenny and say, no, that pick's mine. I'm
Damn.
taking that one. And they are actually getting a double AWP out of this, so not the worst case, but that was a much better round. And the big thing there, Six's reaction his only reaction was, I have to run into tunnels.
Yeah.
And that was where the lurker of Savage was. He was just like, oh,
Yeah.
you want to escape to tunnels to try and get away from the mid push?
Yeah.
Okay, you're dead.
Yeah, so the thing is, okay, so if Happy stays alive in the smoke and then Devil comes out window, at least there's someone to cause a distraction, but then Happy dies, and oh my god, how appropriate is that he left clicks a guy named Savage. This is this is Savage right here. Savagery, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That is rough. But the thing is, Devil peeks out of window when all eyes will probably be on him. That's the weird part.
Yeah.
Sixer pushing in the tunnel actually makes sense.
Yeah, he had to do that.
Yeah, because that's a common play. That's one choke point, and that's usually where if you know that 3 people are coming on mid, all right, there's gonna be less people coming out tunnel. But I'm talking through this round, so
yeah,
I'll let you take it over.
Initially worked out nicely for Apex, but he does get punished. And again, in the meantime, there's some punishes coming in across the map, just spreading out and finding frags. Devil will manage to trade one back onto Savage, and it is still 2 players surviving. We've got Happy now with the AWP and Devil supporting with that AK, but this is still a very tough position to come back from. You can already see the spot from TB holding on Car. He should be able to tell them there's nobody on the site, and the only real difficulty is going to be that cross, but they do have a smoke ready, and this time it looks like they've hit the point perfectly. Nobody going to be available for that rotation or hold the cross, I suppose, and this is just going to leave 2 players pushing from short. So both in position. The Molotov even going to buy them a few extra seconds on that T side to let the bomb tick away. And considering how this started, 9-6 may not be too bad, but they've still got players to find. The long position being held by TB. There isn't an AWP anymore. The bomb not actually planted too well for him. He may be able to spot it if he goes up on the ledge a little bit more, but it doesn't look like it's going to matter. It's all down to Happy. 1 versus 3 in that one tap.
God,
I think that was actually more of the fact that because it ended the half, he may have actually been going for a spray, but it does look sweet.
We'll never
as hell.
know. We'll never know, and that was hella ridiculous. So all we need to know is 1 bullet to the face. Damn, that was sweet. That was an insane shot. But they finished the half, and they get 6 rounds in total. Overall, Envy got away with murder on some of these B retakes that they had to perform. Also had a highlight player in Kenny S to hold down A. And Apex, man of the hour, has 17 frags, 17 and 8 in this matchup. And Cyberzen didn't do a lot of stuff that great. They actually picked the wrong side a couple of times. And overall, I think made some questionable plays and might have the opportunity to make up for it here. And dust2 is very rotation heavy, especially on CT side, so it's not going to be easy for them. They're not necessarily going to be able to sit in all their spots. There's going to be a lot of moving around that needs to be done, right? You have to pick between a 3-1-1 and a 2-1-2 quite often. But that being said, like on a pistol round, for example, there's a lot of room for aim to make you a star.
Well, the other thing I want to question you about, I suppose, put you in the spotlight,
Sure.
under pressure. They are known for aggression. We've spoken about aggression. I might have to wait a little minute, or we're straight into the pistol. Doesn't have any sound, but I'll ask you in a second when the round ends. But straight into the pistol. There was early aggression. I was going to say, do you think they'll be going aggressive? Straight out aggression already. So I think my question's been answered anyway. But now we see a little bit of an abandonment of long. It is looking like a bit more of a retake, as already we see Savage trying to hold the cross. Not going to be able to do so, as the bomb is going to cross over to the site, and no one really taking too much damage either. Now they will throw out a nade or 2. I think it was just a decoy. Kenny with the 1 tap, but it is going to be Lovey doing the return. And they are all coming from the same angle. That's the one thing that does benefit the T side. Other than that, they don't have that long-range weaponry, and going further back may not work out for them. Another kill coming across the board. Lovey with 3, but Sixer with the jump, and there's Apex to close it down.
Young money Sixer, dude. That was a sick shot. The jumping burst shot. And you were gonna ask if they were just gonna go aggressive on the pistol round. So
but just overall, because they're an aggressive team. I want to know, do you think they'll be going like out tunnels or rushing up mid like we've seen from Apex, or taking long, or do you think they'll just sit further back like the sort of Tyloo CT side where there is limit, like sometimes there's aggression, but other times they just hold their aim?
Yeah, I mean, I hope it's like that, because that just means you're a good team if you know when to be aggressive, when not to. CT side is all about, like, if it was CT side was the side where you played aggressive, it would be called T side, right? So ultimately, it makes sense that you have a lot of space given to you, and that sometimes you just have to hold angles. So it's important that they do have some kind of balance. In general, do I think they're going to be more aggressive than maybe another team in this tournament? Yeah, they're probably going to be a little bit more aggressive, and dust2 will give them some freedom and like cat takes to be able to do that. And here's Zoking looking to take the round into his own hands, pushes into tunnels versus that split to come out. Would have got shot in the back, so probably a good idea that he did get a little bit frisky there.
Well, yeah, that looked like a reaction after his teammate goes down in mid. Decides to try and go aggressive rather than just sitting in the corner. If he connected the headshot, there's a chance. Actually, was that a Glock shot from... Okay. The Glock OP, clearly. Happy trying to make some extra cash. There's still Advent here, of course. They did force it a little bit. Savage hasn't gone for anything too crazy because he wants to be on that AWP as soon as possible. But a really nice clean round coming out from Envy, keeping all the rifles, making money with the SMGs, and that's a nice start to the second half.
But yeah, so ways that Cyber and they who are on another force-up eco, or excuse me, full-on eco here, a couple of ways that they can get aggressive are, well, Cat is the friendliest to get aggressive consistently, so you can always go up on Cat and peek in a lower or do a boost and try to get across Cat just to peek mid for a few seconds. You always have the freedom to do that for an initial interaction as CT that you can dictate yourself. And then the other ones that are a lot more aggressive that are way too risky to do all the time are like a lower push, a tunnels push, which almost never happens, and then like something straight out long, which does happen a little bit more frequently. But there's a nice kill from Lovey. They actually shut down this, what looks like a mid-B. I think they actually tipped them off into pushing into the site as Happy dies.
Yeah, they're doing a nice amount of damage here. A lot more to be done to win the round, but Kenny's going to fall actually to Sixer, so burning the 1Gs in the chat, guys. But TB, Advent, a hell of a lot left to do. But this is still a successful round already. This is a straight-up eco that has got them 3 kills. Granted, only 2 of them were actually by Lovey, and the rest is, well, we'll just forget that ever happened. But now, Mac-10 in play. Not the best weapon in this scenario, but of course it is the money maker. $600 if they can get a singular kill. Any rifles dropped will be just as valuable for them coming back into the next round. But nothing to lose. That's the bigger problem. They've got absolutely nothing to lose in this scenario. They're not going to want to save this Mac-10. A buy is coming into the next round, and now they go aggressive. Apex taking a lot of damage, but Sixer will stop anything else, and they will keep 2 rifles at least.
Yeah, easy enough, but as you said, they have nothing to lose. They might as well have try to get kills there. They had an option to either wait for, give EnvyUS a little bit more respect and just try to get them on exits because it's a higher chance to get those kills. Instead, try to actually go for the retake kills and win the round. To each his own. I think in that situation, might not go for it. The exit kills, you might not, even though they're more guaranteed, it doesn't mean that you're 100% going to get them. So either way, it's a risk. And with the round on the line, that's the time when you want to throw caution to the wind.
Smart stuff there to flash off Kenny, but it doesn't matter. Devil's going to be the one entering this round, leaving TB out to dry. The rotation will come in with the AWP, but flashed off again, and actually TB will do the work from pit, so trading it back, but he is very isolated at the moment, has little support. Luckily for him, Envy are just going to be falling back, and in the meantime, Happy, we spoke about this lurk. This time it does not pay off, leaving a 4v3 after the first frag actually goes the way of the French. Yeah,
he has been kind of a hard lurker, and wow, as the smoke plume, Apex was able to find that frag, very nice. I also like that Devil went out to trade that initial frag as the entry, and as his teammates got blind. That did catch CyberZen off guard. Now it is a 3v3. Apex is down, but not out of this round. He has a little bit of life to work with. It's still valuable as presence on the map, and has a couple of grenades to work with. That means if they really wanted to, they could spread out the CTs a little bit more than if they don't have any utility, and there is no one at long right now, so this is a good opportunity to walk out. I don't know if anyone's spotting them, but as soon as they hit the bomb, it's going to be a huge tell. And Kenny S actually gets a pick on the man in elevator. TB is in a great position on Cat, however.
You don't shoulder peek Kenny.
No,
you give him an inch, he'll take a mile, and that is the weight back for the Envy side. They take the advantage, looking for more, but TB still alive and kicking for a moment. But Kenny really is opening up into this game, and Apex to end that life. The deadly duo stepping up big and winning that round for their team. Right, and everybody contributing there, right? Apex really low, ended up getting a kill. He also got that kill along through the smoke, and obviously Devil for opening up the round with his initial entry frag that made it a 4v4 in the first place. So yeah, a couple of things going down. It almost all came down to aim duels in that round, and CyberZen ended up losing with a man advantage. Not something that you can really forgive them for. That's a situation that's hard to kind of analyze beyond, well, we should have been in better positions, we should have played safer, we should have let them get closer to getting the bomb go down, but EnvyUS definitely played it really well. Yeah, now back to pistols. More importantly, there's ZoKing. We'll find one and grab a rifle for himself. Even has himself some Kevlar as well, so definitely the backup. Now we want to see Lovey just baiting out those shots. Not going to be doing that well at it. Will be another frag coming in, and actually they're doing quite a lot of damage. It doesn't need to be baited. He's finding the frags, and well, there's TB as well. A round that Envy should be winning is slowly going out of control, and I don't know why I said slowly, because it's gone out of control. They have one player left, Kenny, in a 1v4, 2 AKs already been picked up. The only silver lining is they don't have armor, and I don't think that's much of a lining at all. Look where the bomb is.
Yeah, and you know, look what gun Kenny S has. It's like, this gun is very useful when a team isn't going to be moving quickly at you and has armor. And there is a little bit of damage done, but a teammate to come out and trade.
Hey, you got the one.
Yes,
Death from the grave. I think that, isn't that like, that's an
yeah,
achievement in CS?
Yeah,
so
yeah. He could have actually got that in game if he didn't have it already, but that is an achievement in game.
Yeah, I assume Kenny has that one. I feel like that might have happened a couple of times in the thousands of hours. You never know. That would have been amazing if that achievement had popped up. So, oh, guys, it's the first time I've ever done that. No. Unfortunately not. The buy back now.
Oh my God!
Oh, Savage, it's just so quick.
What a ridiculous! I almost swore, but I didn't swear. That was insane.
It's that close. It's that close.
That was ridiculous. The flick. I mean, he gets legged, so he almost didn't live to tell the tale, but he just hit one of the most insane shots.
Yeah, that is.
I mean, it's a flick, and in terms of degrees, it might not be that much, but considering how far away it was and how little of the body he had to aim at, that is ridiculous.
Yeah, already. I think we've seen enough from Chinese CS to know that that is definitely on their menu of kills that they will find. Absolute insanity coming out from these teams across the board, but they are 6 rounds down. They have the man advantage, although HP on Savage is very low. He's still the AWPer of the team, and he only needs 1 shot to make it count. And, well, you see the setup at the moment. They do have quite a decent position, although the rotation away from Advent could give a good opportunity now. Envy going to drop down, and actually they seem to have done it quite effectively up until the point where Advent realizes there's Savage again, combining with Advent throughout this round, leaving happy with the AWP. A hell of a lot for him to do, and Savage, he ends the round with 3 kills. Considering he got legged at the very beginning, very impressive.
Yeah, it's really worrying that all of a sudden after that full-on eco, Cyberzen have turned around and put another CT round together, gathering quite a bit of money. Kenny is actually asking how much HP Savage had, because I think he got more than legged in that situation. He might have got walled, actually, because leg would, he'd leave him with 15 health, so might have been a little bit more than that, a little bit of a better shot than what we saw. But now it's a full save from EnvyUS, just a Tech9 Deagle flash out for them.
Yeah, this isn't going to be too crazy, although we have seen a couple of almost full eco rounds paying off on either side of things, so definitely an exciting match to watch so far. The aggression, again, coming out onto short. The main aim of the game here is to get a bomb plant and just earn themselves a little bit of extra money. They are looking like they're about to set up for that running boost, but that nade, that's getting 50, close to 200.
Yeah.
That is a lot of damage done, and Savage going to add a little bit more. The player in Goose could just end this, not going to allow them a bomb plant. Sixer will find one, but already TB has made the trade, and just look at the fire. Apex is like, uh-oh, I may be stuck here.
Yeah, not many options right now. Oh, and gets a full flash right there to help Advent out with this frag. One more player remaining at cat box. Everybody knows where you are, Happy. There is no more lurking.
Yeah, no sneaky beaky this time.
Just hoping he has the opportunity to get someone who might be approaching from cat, and it looks like they actually maybe have forgotten where he is, and he gets 2 kills because of it.
There's no way he should have even got one in that scenario.
Such a good lurker, man. He's so good.
Even when he's not hidden, he's hidden.
Yeah.
Like, the timing just to peek that out was a little bit of luck. I still think there's quite a bit of skill involved in getting those timings right. We see him do it on multiple occasions. Either way, that little bit of extra damage doesn't do too much, but it does something to the VG economy. Again, it's just going to be pistols once more, and without a bomb plant, there wasn't really too much more they could have gone for in this scenario. Very aggressive push this time from Savage, but won't find anyone just yet.
Yeah, this Xbox smoke doesn't tell you anything except for that they smoked Xbox. It's become pretty common and standard to do this, whether it be for your teammates to get into lower control or for people to rush up cat, which might not happen any more than the other. Now, Savage is going to fall back anyways, just because it gets unsafe later into the round. And as I was talking about earlier, it can be nice to just go for that cat aggression just to get some info early on. And then when it becomes unsafe, just fall back to your regular position, because why spend time doing something useless over a car? Here's TB. He's going to have a lot of pressure put on him right now. 4 players out. Great flash, though. He's going to turn it into more kills. No, Savage is actually helping him out at A.
missing the shots there a little bit. Savage does rotate around and does enough to just find that frag. Looking for a little bit more, is happy if he can find some more magic with these pistols. There we go. Oh, actually hits a second dink onto Lovey as well. Devil has himself a rifle, the bomb. I feel like this is a bridge too far, but at the same time, there's still a possibility for him to do more damage. And we know that next round they will be coming back in with the buy. See the spot there, not going to be able to get the frag just yet, and still looking for a little bit more. Drop one more player, it makes it into a situation where, well, we already know 2 rebuys, 3 rebuys, very different scenario, but he's not going to get it, and inevitably it is another round for VG.Gaming.
The great thing about their setup right now is that it is a standard dust2 setup where you have a 2-on-2, but because you have the op, you have A fortified, so it removes the need to have an extra person there at A where there's 2 choke points and they're both pretty heavily committed to by terrorists when it is going to be an A take, and that means as long as your opera is doing his job, that you have a lot of safety, a lot of peace of mind as a player on the other side of the map if you're just rifling. So
Savage is going for it again.
Yeah.
Didn't spot anyone last time, so thought why not have a second go.
See, and he has this immediate free info, but he actually stays there to get one tapped by Apex. That was a bit of a misstep. That cat flash is extremely standard to blind the opera that's going to be pushing up. All he actually had to do was crouch and walk back, or just continue running instead of throwing that Molotov. I think, and it's not ironic, but the fact that he threw that Molotov wouldn't have done anything to the terrorists anyway, because he was going to fall off. No one was going to act on that information. It would literally hold him in lower for a few seconds, and then they'd be able to push out after that. So he had no reason to waste that money and ends up dying because of it.
Yeah, Apex with the opening frags. We've spoken about both AWPers being very influential on the CT side, and well, Kenny's actually glass cannon at the moment. Hasn't had as much of an impact so far on the T side, but that's almost expected. Although you go for that mid-peak, a lot of the time I feel that recently anyway, the CT side AWP, especially on A, is much more effective.
This is kind of interesting, but and everyone's jumping CT, so there might be opportunity right now. Advent actually gets a kill, and then we've got one in the mid-B smoke, but they have left. Instead of pulling their mid guy, they decided to help him get on a boost and then put their A guy on a rotate position. So in a sense, they took their 4 players and decided to gamble, which makes sense. But also, if they really wanted to defend both sides equally, we're not doing such a great job. I mean, it's hard to say.
Well, there's definitely that sort of double feeling at the moment. Aggression is going to come out onto short. Devil shutting down this round, leaving just 1 player left and happy with the luck. But
so, yeah.
Speak about that AWPer, how effective it was to the A site. You remove that from the equation, there's definitely holes.
Yeah, then there's definitely holes. The thing is that they, like, it's like, okay, so you're 4v5, you lost a guy, and you lost one of your A players. So your A guy actually goes down to mid-B, boosts him to make sure that if it's going to be a mid-B split, they will get crushed. But Envy, because they've got that frag at A, we're just going to follow it and go to the site. And TB's all alone in CT. And so to me, that tells me, that means if it's not going to be a mid-B, you are planning on saving. But instead, they decide to retake, and Envy are fully aware that they've killed both players at A. So
yeah, Savage now playing towards mid with the AWP, does just opt to fall back. Already we see a player out towards the site, but Devil will get ended by Lovey, who picks up 2, make it 3. Big plays from Lovey on the B site. The bomb is down as well. 1 will be coming in for Happy in the meantime. Kenny over towards this window, looking like TB will find the trade, and Kenny's ended. Big plays coming out from Lovey.
What an absolute monster on the site. Looking like he had no recoil, just spraying all 3 players down, no trouble whatsoever. And that's exactly what you want to do on the site. Like, like if you're the extra man there, like that's how you watch your choke point. You don't actually need to leave the site to defend it. In fact, you have a better chance if you funnel them into your angle as opposed to jumping into 3 of them. And so he makes it look easy because he put himself in a great position to do so.
I'm almost feeling a comparison to Devil coming
Maybe,
on.
yeah.
I sort of sense you were going
honestly,
that way. But
yeah, I hate to harp on him because he gets so much.
No, he gets way more flack than deserved, for sure.
Yeah.
Back to pistols, though. So definitely looking better now for Vici. They did lose the 1 round, but it has come bang to actually haunt EnvyUS, because I don't know, well, you can have a look at their monetary position. Is it in a spot where they're going to be able to come back in the next round, or are they sort of weak?
We take a look at their money. They have about 2K a person, a couple players with 1,600, so might opt to partake in 1 more save. Actually, that was pretty much a reset right there, so losing that round, critically important. And Savage kicking it off with a really nice headshot. He's going to go for another one, but Devil says, peace, kid, and shoots him with a 1D. This will allow them to plant. That's a very important frag that he gets.
did actually jump down with the bomb. Bit of a misplay there,
Oh
but
my
he will
God,
throw
did he
it
really?
back up. He threw it back up, so
Okay.
it's not too much of a problem. Bit of a mistake made. Now Happy, well, he's lurking so hard that he's actually nowhere near this action anyway. He is going to have a chance to rotate in, but there is Zoking. So luck doesn't pay off this time. It has paid off in the past, but they get the bomb plant.
That's
That's going to be a buy now.
I love how Devil just blasted Savage right there with that Deagle, and that's the only reason they're able to buy right now. So that extra $800, a huge reason that they're in this round and not saving one more time potentially. Also, Kenny S is going to be in his happy place with the op.
Yeah, well, that has been a big factor. I do want to see more from him on this T side. Definitely a pivotal player. Goes for the shot down mid. Won't find it this time. Savage, again, this time they've got aggressive towards long. Actually going to take the peak towards long as well. So Happy is there and waiting. He's behind the door. This is a bit of a switch up. We've spoken about aggression with this team. Haven't seen this yet from Savage. Whether or not he's actually going to be able to take this kill.
Happy just playing it safe, spotting what he can. Cat control going to be taken, and this is just a very standard round from both teams. Cat control is almost always given up for free, so as a terrorist, you might as well go up there with a few people, see what they're doing, push the opera off, make sure that they can't just stand there the entire round, be on a fast rotate if you decide to go mid-B, no matter what you do. There's lots of time in the round to do so, and here it is going to be a 4-1 with one player late long. It's actually not even Happy who's that long, or is he? Yeah, I think it might be. Apex, though, has made his way into CT. This is going to be trouble. They might actually want to even slow this down while he catches rotates.
Yeah, however, they are just brute forcing this. Kenny will find one. Savage ready and waiting to find the trade frag. And this player needs to be ended. If you leave him over towards this site, it's going to get more and more difficult as time goes on. Kenny is looking to do just that, looking around those smokes. Oh, the timing's not quite there, and Savage peeks back out.
He actually won that duel.
He's such a beast, just finding that frag, leaving Happy alone to try and challenge this one. No chance. Lovey finds a kill, and Savage's name is just... It's so perfect to describe him as a player.
Don't knife him, man. You want him to be a nice person. No, I'm serious. This is a...
Don't anger the Chinese.
No, absolutely not. They don't take kindly to disrespect like that. And Savage says, well played, WP, to Apex's pause. So they're going to take a timeout. Happy's going to ream him out. Hey, you guys, you're French. You're no good.
It's almost,
Step it up.
It's almost as if it's like, you pause now.
Yeah.
The knife seems a bit dumb now, doesn't it? Well played. Well played. I like it. I like it.
And if history tells us anything, it's that Cyberzen, apart from EnvyUS's pistol, actually only won like a couple of rifle rounds. Cyberzen have earned themselves like 6 or 7 of them. So that means they're, I think, on par to actually grab this one as well. And that means, yeah, it's actually EnvyUS pausing on an eco. They've got less than 3K per person on average. Devil's the only one, 3,200. And that means we're probably going to maybe another 30-round match here, Tom. Maybe another 30-round match.
I wouldn't want it any other way.
Yeah.
I have to be. It may be getting a little bit late here, but I would not have it any other way. The French and the Chinese, there's definitely something that's not been said too often in Counter-Strike history, these two facing off. But yeah. I'm very, very happy to see it. And I'm really, really glad that both teams are showing up. We're seeing a lot of great plays across the board. Apex has been there. I still feel like T-side, I want to see more. He got that CT position. We didn't actually get to touch on that too much. It wasn't utilized as well as it possibly could have been.
The CT position from
when he jumped down in the last.
Yeah, so the hard part is when you do like the set take, and I thought about this after it happened. It's like super hard to communicate your team like hold on when your smokes are thrown already, because then they start dissipating and it's like you're really relying on catching the rotation. And Apex can't guarantee the rest of his team that people are actually going to come into CT. So maybe you're running a little bit of risk. It's hard to like just pause and be like, no, nobody do anything.
Stop.
Excuse me. Yeah.
This round, though, it is just pistols once again. They're EnvyUS pistols. There's definitely some history there. We have seen them use these weapons very, very effectively. So it's not weak by any stretch, but this B-site hold, it's been pretty good so far. I feel like Lovey has definitely stepped up. Zoking has been a little bit quiet this game, but maybe just not getting the highlight plays, quietly chugging along. They need themselves 3 more rounds to take this map. Envy are needing 2, but they also need money, probably much more.
This is a really solid angle. This is catch players looking into the door as they run out. It's an off angle that works out really well. But he's going to peek out of it and get like a nice spray down into the tunnel. A couple players coming out. The recoil control from ZoKing looking good. Formidable shots right now. A lot of damage being dealt across the board. And he's managing to stay alive after all of this.
Yeah, rotation is very, very slow. I'm not really sure why.
Oh,
he was there for so long and just like, oh no, he's getting the ace. We're just going to chill. And for that very reason, the bomb's actually going to get planted, I reckon. Kenny hasn't actually decided to go for it just yet, which, well, we've said they need money, so it will be very valuable if they can get that down. And I am a little bit skeptical about that. I'm not sure if they didn't spot the bomb or there was something along those lines, but whatever it was, they just decided not to go for it. It looks like they are actually waiting. The second that bomb gets planted, I think VG are likely to pounce.
Yeah, I don't think they're fooling anyone right now. Oh, there's actually Kenny Happy jumping up in a window. This is quite curious. I wonder what he's going to do here. Oh, he's actually going to push out on the site, but they were ready to go in right away, and it looks like TB find the headshot on Happy as well. So kind of interesting. They did have to make something happen there. No armor. There's very low chance to actually win that round, but a good point, Tom. They had an extremely long time to get to the site. Like, if anything, ZoKing did a great job of lasting forever, and all he wanted was somebody to help him. Somebody help me. Why is nobody helping me?
No, sorry, we're waiting for the plant.
Yeah.
We're busy at the moment, just having a little chat in the corner. Either way, they win the round, so that's the most important thing at this stage. But I feel like the difference in the buy could be quite hefty here. They get the AWP nades onto Kenny. There's Molotovs across 3 of the remaining players, so definitely pretty much the best buy for Envy at this stage. Same on the opposing side. Already we see ZoKing taking a little bit of damage, but this is crunch time. This really is crunch time.
Yeah, it doesn't get any more serious than this. This round right here, round 29. Everybody's got money. It's been a double save for EnvyUS. Waiting your whole lives for this round, Tom.
Savage, he's ready and waiting with the AWP.
Oh my god, what?
He's
what?
just holding the angle slightly through the smoke. I couldn't see anything, and I had an X-ray, so the fact that he gets that kill, absolute insanity, taking 6 out of the round. The remaining 4 players probably stunned, thinking, I didn't see anything. 3 players still on A. They're playing this sort of split a little bit heavier over towards the A side, which does mean a bit of an abandonment of middle at the moment. And again, they're going for this similar drop-down scenario. It's worked again, so they have got that mid control. This time, they're a little bit more delayed. They should know there's nobody there because Apex is behind the smoke, so a lot of information gathered. The peek from Lovey will not grab a kill, but he grabs it on the retake. Now looking at Kenny, that's a quick shot to deny anything else, but really we're looking to see these players. If they go through the smoke, there's a high chance that they will actually catch someone off, but now the site has been gathered up. We're looking at Happy as the lurk.
Yeah, now it's a 3v3, and we have, I think, Apex. No, it's actually Happy in a position to flank, late flank, and he might come out this doors a little bit too early, considering people are only starting to come out of CT. No, they are now moving out, and he has a great position to try to backstab a couple of players right now. Ends up getting 2 very good frags, and that's it. Match point for EnvyUS. Huge round and huge win. And I love that, actually, having Apex escorted to CT, but this time to go up against a mid-B. And they had CT completely clear, and they knew exactly what was up. I thought it was kind of sketchy in that situation what Lovey did, criticizing these mid-B players constantly because he was put in a tough spot. They didn't have that 2-1-2 setup, so him and his teammate were all alone. But once again, because they didn't have a distraction at mid, him coming into the door and then taking fights outside the door and in the tunnel, I thought was really indecisive, and he should have just picked one spot and held it on the choke point as best he could. He would have been at a disadvantage either way, but the way that he was playing it, he risked being spotted from both angles and just having a completely compromised position. Whereas if he was just outside by the boxes, at least he could catch at least one player off guard, guarantee that frag, and then maybe have 2 or maybe even hold the choke point completely.
It's almost, I know they can't because we're not talking over this, so no skepticism here, but it's almost like they could hear us. We wanted to know whether or not we would see that sort of, what would have happened if Apex was in CT and they'd slow things down and go the other way?
Right.
We found out what happens. They take over middle. Granted, this time there wasn't actually anybody in mid to stop Apex, which was sort of a deciding factor. Sort of mentioned that they were heavier over towards A, and that did become their downfall. Can't really say too much about that. It was more because Savage was going aggressive onto short that they thought, okay, we have presence there. But I definitely think that the way that round ended up was actually really nice. But we are back in. The buy is not perfect. It has a UMP in play, but it's still not weak at all from Cyberzen.
I mean, they've won a full eco in this game already, so I wouldn't put it past them to try to put together something else. And, you know, so we've seen this happen too often. It's the last round of the game, but it doesn't really matter who has better guns. Somehow, it seems like it's a 50-50 sometimes with the way that the risks that are being taken when it's this serious, this late in the game. end up paying off. I'm not sure what Cyberzen have in store for them. It looks like they're not going to try to do anything too aggressive. They still have, even though it's kind of a mix buy, besides that UMP, a lot of grenades and an AWP, so they can kind of just play spots potentially. Have a very standard setup once again posted up. I think it's actually Advent on Cat this time, and I'm not sure where the AWP is. Oh, no, Advent's over in CT.
This time they do flash in, just in case. So I don't care if there's a smoke. Savage, you're not getting any leeway here. We are going to try and blind you no matter what. They have actually rotated. Oh, no, I thought I saw the AWP. Never mind. The AWP is actually over towards the sort of car position, or a little bit closer, actually, towards the site. There is a little bit of aggression now coming out, I think, onto short, so they have made a little bit of a play for the T side, but that's happy lurking. The rest is coming in towards B. 35 seconds left on the clock. That lurk play is going to have to be primed and ready. Zoking goes for the spray, but Kenny through the box. That's a great way to entry onto the site. Now we look at Lovey. He's going for the spray down, finds one, but that's not enough. Sixer trades the kill. Zoking, he's actually looking to, it's actually Advent, goes very aggressive. Apex, not going to find enough. It's all down to TB. He's nowhere to be seen. He's very far away. All he has himself is a UMP. So now, looking to try and get back onto the site. The bomb is going to be planted. He's got 2 players to find. Spots out Apex, but already it's going to be the end. Envy take the map. And I think towards the end of it, they really showed what they had to offer.
I know. They almost, man, it was crazy, dude. Like, Cyberzen came so close to actually doing that, and then Envy came clutch in those last couple of rounds. They also were making just really smart decisions, I think. I like how they were approaching that innovative way of mid-being with the spawn drop and the extra mid-B smoke as well. So a lot of good stuff coming up from both teams, and I got to say, I didn't think it would be that competitive. When Envy were taking off in the beginning, I thought Envy have this for sure. Then you know, Savage turns on, and it's crazy. It looks like all of a sudden it's going to be a comeback. It's the 14-14 out of nowhere. It's like, wow, is this really happening? I guess Envy are choking, and then suddenly just 2 rounds in a row.
Well, definitely a huge display of talent coming out there, but from both teams, in fact. The AWPers on both CT sides were very, very impressive. I have to say, Kenny, like, it feels like such a long time ago because of how long the game was, but he was very good on that A site as well, held it down most of the time, and you think some of those rounds, one of those goes the other way, we could have seen the map go in an opposite direction.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So that will be it from us for a little bit, I think. We are going to hand it back to the analyst desk shortly after a couple of ads.
Gaming bets, online betting for every esports fan. Dota 2 and Hearthstone, CSGO and Overwatch, StarCraft 2, the choice is yours. Express bets for multiple matches or live bets on the game you are watching right now. Know your way around Dota 2, make a prediction for picks and bans. Playing CSGO, guess the number of rounds in a certain match. Daily quests for all participants and all the best choice of payment systems. More than 600,000 users have already made their bets on the spectacular matches since 2011. EGB.com. You know for sure who's gonna win.
Getting tired of playing with the usual skins, but don't have enough money to buy a new one? Get rich fast with CSGoFast.com. CSGoFast. It's a strong chance of winning in every game. Several rooms with different game modes. Daily, more than 1,000 games, 5,000 players, and 25,000 skins at stake. You don't need much in order to sweep the board.
Dota 2 and Hearthstone, CSGO and StarCraft 2, the largest contests in the history of esports among the national teams. World Electronic Sports Games, the World Championship with the total prize pool of $4.5 million. Registration for Europe and CIS regions is open. The finals will be held from October 6 to 9 in Kiev, Ukraine. Win your slot in the finals of the World Championship. Register right now.